Welcome back to another beautiful episode as we run on the series on Driven by Purpose and Passion. And in the last episode, we looked at the characteristics of purpose and passion because we are still expanding on the theme driven by purpose and passion. We've used various successful stories, for example, of Kafuyaja, the brain behind Akosomo Catering, an ISO certified catering business in Ghana. And also I carelessly mentioned Mr. Emmanuel Awume, the brain behind Cecil Ventures. They are also into car detailing, moving from car washing into car detailing, expanding into boat detailing, and today they offer detailing services for aircraft who ply the routes through Ghana. So today we're just going to look at the differences between purpose and passion, because as a coach I've come to a place, especially with young people who are emerging and those who are even transitioning from one career to the other. You always see people get stuck, because when you get stuck, when you are stagnated, something is missing in the equation. That's why you are stagnant. Or when all that you do does not bring to you when you rest on your bed, you don't find that certain serene feeling of accomplishment, feeling of wellness, feeling of satisfaction, feeling of belonging, then it means something is amiss in the equation. Barring any form of disorder, neurological impairment, barring all that, then there is either push-pull between your purpose, which might not have been discovered yet and you are still battling with it, or your passion, which does not have a certain direction towards a certain end game. So we're just going to look at what are the differences, because the differences will get you to know why they must be integrated, which I have suggested in one of the episodes that we will use braining to integrate purpose and passion. Because the place where the world is so being driven by AI, machines. The last time we got so engrossed in what we call the mechanistic view, that was when World War I and II emerged. And so this is all part of my commitment to bring you value when you come to this particular podcast. So let's look at the basic differences between purpose and passion. The primary driver for purpose is meaning and value. The foundation of purpose, Simon Sinek says, your why is meaning and value. Then that of passion is, you see, that feeling of excitement, that feeling of enjoyment, that fleeting moment of feeling that goes on in you, that is passion. That is how come when you get something done with all your energy, it gives a certain feeling. Remember, I've promised and committed that we will do the neurochemistry of the two as well. So allow us to go into this so we know why they matter. Why were they put in there by our Creator? Why did the universe put that abilities in us? That we need to live for meaning and value. And as we live for meaning and value, which is purpose, we need to be excited about the meaning and value we have in life. So this is one of the differences. Because without meaning and value, you have no direction and depth. You have no direction and depth. You have no tenacity. You have no endurance. You have no identity to craft something around with your life. Then without that sense of enjoying, that fleeting feeling, excitement, that orgasm that you must come to, without that, it becomes just monotonous to live your life. So this is why it is mission critical that you don't say the two are different. I don't want to go into certain dimension because they are the same spirit, manifesting different. That is how come when you bring them into coherence, that is how come when you bring them into balance, rhythm, and harmony, they serve you better. Then the time frame. Purpose even outlive you. Purpose outlive you. Steve Jobs is no more. Apple is still thriving. So that future Steve Jobs lived for Apple is still thriving. Arthur Guinness and Co. are no more, but they are still thriving. Their businesses, their ideas, that purpose they came to live for are still thriving. So the question I want to ask you is, when you are no more here, what about you will still exist? What about you will still live on? That is why it is mission critical to remember that you cannot live your life anyhow. Because at the long run, it is not the motor and brakes you leave behind. It is what you etch into the fiber and the heart of people. That is your purpose. So your purpose must have longevity. Your purpose must have a certain length of time. Like I said, it must have direction, how far it goes, how high it climbs, and how deep it digs. And when you bring these three in the three dimensions, it means that it's endless. That is how come when you watch some videos, is it Charlie Chaplin? Till date, when you watch his videos, there's still some humor around it. So that is the purpose. Yes. Today, if you watch any of the short skits of Charlie Chaplin, there is still some humor in there. Till date, we still are fascinated about the karate expertise of Bruce Lee. Till date. It is limitless. If you live in the wholesomeness of your purpose, you are reading books that the authors are dead. Machiavelli, and all those we revere. But passion has got a short time bound. That is how come UFC, mixed martial art, soccer, rugby, hockey, swimming, even the work we do, they are all time bound because they are energy driven. 8 to 5. Some do 3 days in a hybrid, 2 days off the office job. All this is because if you don't manage the energy, which is your passion, right, you get burnout. You get burnout. Then when we come to the orientation, we say purpose is people driven. Purpose is people centered. Purpose is people focused. Purpose is the universe invested interest. That is purpose. That the end game of all that you doing, you being, and everything is to be a contribution to this universe. That is purpose. To be a contribution to this universe. That is purpose. Passion. You know, when you take any energy drink, you go, passion is positively self-centered. Because you are the energy that is driving that purpose. So if there is no benefit to, so in M-Brain, we call it selfing. The energy required to bring you that selfing that soothes you is passion. That is how come in coaching, I can ask a client, what are you passionate about? Because when a client comes out with a situation, as a coach, I should be able to sense the energy of the client and be able to ask such a question. What about this that gives, where is this energy coming from? What is driving this energy? What is in there? So the two, one is, and because I come from the place of ontology and ecology, purpose must be people and the universe driven. That when they say, this is my purpose, how does it benefit human beings and the universe we live in? That is the ecology. So when your purpose is only your belly full, that is not purpose. Not at all, that is not purpose. Then we come to their relativity. Purpose tend to have stability. That is how come in one of the episodes I said, purpose has got coherence, it has got balance, it has got harmony. So sometimes when you pause to reevaluate your life, you need to be able to ask yourself some of these critical questions. Am I in coherence with life? Am I in balance with life? Is there harmony and rhythm with the life I am living? Because if you don't do this, you are only surviving. You are only surviving. And I don't want to even shift into what survival mode causes us. So the question is, why is purpose important? It is for your psychological well-being. It is for your own wellness. Purpose, that is how when you come across people who are living purposefully, there is some aura around them. There is some depth and width of authenticity. They don't rush it. They don't fight it. They walk into the room and you can virtually smell that which they are. That is why purpose is important. Why is passion also important? Why does it matter? Because it is the fuel that drives. Because as the person walks into the room, the walking, that momentum, that movement, that motivation, it must take something for you to want to be resilient. That which gets you to be resilient is passion. It's passion. So, on this particular episode, we just explored the differences between the two, purpose and passion. Because I've come across too many people who confuse and conflate the two. Someone, the passion must come first before purpose must come. No. If you know the differences, you also know where they merge. Because I have said, in the deeper quantum insight, they are the same spirit that manifests differently. So these and many more are the differences between purpose and passion. And remember, we are still expanding the subject matter driven by purpose and passion. I am Scofray Nanaya Yeboah, transformational executive coach, master certified coach with the International Coaching Federation, MBIT, that is multiple brain integration techniques, master coach and trainer. I am committed to your commitment. We are in this together. Thank you.